Welcome to Saints at Manahawkin United Methodist Church. We have a very special guest today, Ken and Judy Schorr. Welcome, Judy and Ken. The next question I have for both of you is that if you follow a certain principle in your life, I always live by these principles. I'm sure it could have more than one. And Judy, would you like to share with us what that would be?
Well, I think one of my principles, as I said, I was very shy. He laughs when I say that I was very shy as a child, but no longer. And I truly believe in kindness, being kind to people,
being kind
being
to
kind to
people.
people, and be understanding. And if they're having a problem and they want to talk to you about it, then you should listen. You know, I think that's really important. So
Be kind to each other.
be kind to
Oh,
each
right.
other.
That's
Yep.
good. That's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'd have a much better world if more people would do that.
Isn't it true? Isn't it true? Yeah.
I tell you, I don't even like watching television anymore.
Oh,
It's like
yeah. It's
nothing
so
on there, but
depressing.
it is. It's terrible.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Between that and when they have the dogs on, oh, I can't even watch it anymore.
Oh.
The dogs that are mistreated and stuff, you know. Oh,
Oh.
so sad.
Oh,
So
yeah,
sad.
yeah,
So
yeah.
sad. So when you're ready, I specifically want me to tell you about Ken's dad,
Okay.
because
Okay.
he and I had a real special relationship.
How about that? Okay, so since we are talking about life principles, and Ken, what would you say to our next generations to?
Well, things I try to do first before I can reach out to somebody else and so forth.
Okay.
Prayer, of course.
Prayer.
Bible before breakfast.
Mm-hmm. Read the Bible before breakfast.
Yeah. I mean, breakfast is supposed to be an important meal, but to me, the Bible is more
Hey,
important.
amen. We can use that anytime.
What else? Try to be more Christ-like, and I struggle with that one because try as I will, I'll never reach that. There is only one Jesus.
Yep. But you're going there. Little by little, upward and forward.
But we have to keep trying. We just can't throw things aside. And I think too many people do that. That's just an opinion.
Oh.
And so forth. And that's why they struggle so much. There's no peace when that happens and so forth. As far as passing something on to the kids or whatever another generation is concerned, never give up in your faith.
Never give up on your faith and trust
in God, in yourself, and in those who truly love and care about you. And I believe you can rise above any situation.
All right. That's good. Well, thank you so very much. Thank you. So let's hear Judy. You said that you have a very special relationship with Ken's dad.
Oh yeah, my dad passed away at 71.
Okay.
After so many years of smoking and drinking.
Oh.
My mom.
Okay. Didn't you have a picture of your dad enjoying the eating crabs?
Oh yes. It's over there,
I
think.
Here.
They're in here.
It's in here.
Oh, right.
Yes. Eating the good Maryland crab. There's nothing like Maryland crabs, I'm telling you.
Folks, eat more crabs from Maryland. I'll show this picture to them.
Jumbo. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
My kids were like, ew. I said, you guys are wimps. I've been eating these things since I'm 3 years old.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So he passed on at the age of 71.
My dad did, yes. Okay. Ken's dad was my buddy. Wasn't he? In his later years, he lived in an apartment not too far from where we lived. We used to go over, usually on Sunday. I would cook dinner and we'd bring it over and we'd have dinner with him on Sunday. It was easier for us to go to him than him to come to us, because we had the stairs in our house and he was getting very feeble.
Yes.
In his later years, when he was beginning to fail in health and mind, I looked after him as much as I could. I was off school in the summer, so I was with him a lot.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, an aside, this is something really funny. I opened up his refrigerator because I wanted to see if he needed any food, and he had orange juice, and what else did he have? 2 things in the refrigerator. I said, Dad, that's all.
Tasty cakes.
Tasty cakes, little Debbie tasty cakes. I said, Dad, where's the rest of your food? So he liked bananas. So I went out and I bought him some things, and I bought him a bunch of bananas. And I went back to see him the next day. I bought him a big bunch of bananas. I said, Dad, where's the bananas? He said, I ate them. I said, you ate all those bananas? I was like, oh my God. But anyway, so I tried to be with him as much as I could since I was off and I had the time, you know. Okay. So Ken, also being an only child, and most of his relatives were gone, so we looked after Dad as much as we could until he had to go. Finally, he had to go into a nursing home because one of his neighbors found him outside the apartment in his underwear one morning, and he would have been appalled. He would have never done something like that, you know. Okay. And the rest is just a little bit about now.
All right. Okay. Okay, so before we talk about now and your some trip to Caribbeans and so forth, all right. Ken, I do know you have a heart for certain ministry in the church. Would you like to use this as a platform to speak for what you believe church must do?
Well, where do I even start? Yeah, in fact, I'm going to be speaking to the ladies group here in October on restorative justice, which deals with prisoners coming home and trying to absorb into society again, whether it be the church and so forth. But that's really just part of it. My greatest concern, what I see happening in our society, and not necessarily in this church, but in our society in general, we're turning our backs on the least of these, no matter who they are, it seems. And to me, that's like turning your back on Jesus. I mean, he reached out, it didn't matter who it was. Correct?
That's true. I think our society is so afraid of the past records that whatever they did, and they shun them all even after they come out, right? That's the big problem. I understand.
I had one experience, and Judy knows the background of this one. I was working with a gentleman in Toms River who came home after 17 years. He already had health issues in his 80s and so forth, and he so wanted to get back into a church, to be part of a flock again.
Father Charles?
Yeah. He was rejected by 4.
Good man.
And one pastor, female pastor in Toms River, even said to him, I don't want you in my church.
That's what.
Since when is it her church? I thought it was Christ's church.
Oh, really?
You know, does she own stock in it?
People can be so judgmental without even knowing the whole story.
I think people are so afraid.
Really? I know. It's
now, the sad part about this is, and no reflection on you or Manahoka and so forth, when we first moved down here, I reached out to every church in Southern Ocean if they'd be interested in going into a seminar. I ran them up north and
you showed me that.
Fairly successful.
Yeah.
I had 4 replies out of God knows how many churches in Southern Ocean, one of which should have never even returned it. It was from a Methodist pastor who just said, not interested. Why is he even in the pulpit? I mean, I'm being judgmental, I know that, and it's not my right, his right. But that really disturbed me because, you know, because to me, it's not about this church or that church and so forth. It's the church in general. When you make statements like that or do things like that, you're showing the public you don't care. That's a black eye. You know? And I struggle with that because we're at war right now, in my mind, between society, secular society, and the churches and so forth. And right now, I hate to say it, I see the society winning. You know yourself. Look at the attendance, how it's dropped down across all churches in the United States and so forth. Why? Why?
So the church has a lot of things to do, especially...
We have a ministry of healing and reconciliation, a God-given mandate to provide hope, vision, leadership. I think we do a pretty good job here in Hawken. But I see churches out there right around the corner, right across the bridge. If it wasn't for the tourists, they'd dry up.
And how many years ago was it we were in Switzerland? 12, 14?
Oh, yeah, same thing.
12, 14 years ago. They have, I said to Kent, they have, because I lived in France for 3 years when my dad was stationed there. And the beautiful cathedrals they have there, the old cathedrals.
Empty.
And so we went with a group to Switzerland and Austria. So we saw this beautiful church, and I said, "Oh, let's go in," you know. So we went in, and we walked up to the altar and turned around, and they had the pipes from the organ in the
Beautiful
back.
church,
Beautiful
all Baroque.
Beautiful church. And so we were talking to a lady that lived there, and she was doing some work for the church, and she said, unfortunately, she said, it's empty most of the time. She said that people don't want to go to church anymore. It's so sad, you know? So sad.
All right. Thank you. It makes us think a lot and pray a lot about what we can do and should do more, right? Thank you, Ken.
You know, we've had our ups and downs, you know, as far as it goes in our lives, individually and together and so forth. But,
yeah, we have.
you know, God has seen us through it.
Absolutely. Now let's. Yeah, this is the group that you went to.
Yeah. Now I'm in the background here, really bad.
Yeah.
And it was separated. Went through the children's section. And there's a little girl that being fed intravenously right here because her arms and legs were that thin. She died in front of me.
Oh my God.